Hello and welcome to Camp Xbox, where we talk about all things Xbox, new and old. And on today's agenda is a review of the 2009 Xbox 360 exclusive, Halo Wars. Developed by Ensemble Studios and published by Microsoft Game Studios, this is actually the first time on the channel that we've covered a game in the flagship Xbox franchise, Halo. And before I really jumped into the big games, I wanted to try out one of its smaller scale titles first. Halo is a franchise that I'm sure if you clicked on this channel, you know about. It's a insanely popular first-person shooter series of games, and Halo Wars is a bit of a change of pace for the franchise, being a real-time strategy game. You manage resources and military on a much larger scale, feeling like you are controlling the whole war rather than just one person in the middle of the war. RTSs have been around forever, but this is a genre that I don't have a lot of experience with. It's not that I don't like them, it's just as a console gamer, mostly my time with them is very limited. You find that RTSs, when they get ported from PC over to console, it's a very poor translation, and I usually shy away from them. I even shied away from this one back on its release of February 26, 2009, even though I'm a huge Halo fan. But coming to it now, I can tell Ensemble was trying to really make something work here. Unfortunately, Ensemble Studios is defunct now, but they are a legendary studio that made the first three games in the Age of Empires franchise, which are games that I actually really love, especially the second installment. Ensemble at the time had been testing around with bringing a good RTS over to the console that plays well, and they actually showed it off to Microsoft, who asked them to put a Halo paint coat over it, and with that we got Halo Wars, the highest selling console RTS game of all time. And I guess the big question when we go back and play this would be, does it actually feel good to play? And you know what? I have to say, yeah, they did a really great job with this one. The left stick moves and the right stick is your pointer. I compare it closely to the console versions of The Sims. Controlling your base and its troops feels solid, and the use of quick buttons with LB and RB to select local and all your troops works very well and is a good substitute for just dragging your mouse to select. It's very easy to learn, and I understood its mechanics really fast. I know a lot of huge RTS fans would probably consider this shallow though. There's not an insane amount of things in the nitty-gritty of this game. You kind of get it very fast, and the strategy, whatever it is, you develop it in a very quick pace. But for someone like me, who isn't as into the genre, it worked out very well for me. So there are multiple modes of play, but the main focus of the gameplay is going to be in the game's story mode, which offers around 15 missions that can take about 15 minutes to an hour. And yes, it does take a long time on some of these missions, so be ready for the long haul whenever you start these up. And I didn't love these longer missions. It felt like these ones wanted you to babysit your base for a long time and just wait for your resources to come in. There wasn't a lot of gameplay for maybe the first 10-15 minutes, and that's when it gets a little boring. But in the faster paced levels, you get a lot more action and fast strategy, and that's when the game really clicks for me. It asks for quick options and can be quite tough on the harder difficulties. Legendary is absolutely painful to play. It's slow and troops will get annihilated instantly. I wanted to start this run on this difficulty, but definitely collect all the skulls and play through it that way after you beat the game, because skulls don't affect the achievements at all. I'd say overall, the campaign is very worth it if you are a fan of Halo lore. Taking place around 20 years before the plot of the original Halo, you follow John Forge and Ellen Anders investigate a series of Covenant planets and ancient ruins, and honestly, there's a lot more side adventures in this Halo universe. It's crazy because it has some callbacks, even having the Flood show up at some point. And you know what? It wasn't an entirely enthralling story, but it's a neat one. And if you're a Halo fan and really like the world building, definitely check out the story mode on this one. This game also offers a 1v1 and up to 3v3 skirmish modes, which has you just doing normal fights against AI, nothing too crazy. It's fine, but I was never in love with gameplay to the point of playing without any story guiding me through it. I really wish I got a chance to play the online multiplayer, but no one was on when I tried finding matches, which makes sense because this game is delisted from the Microsoft Store because there is a nice new definitive edition out on the Xbox One and is playable on the Series S and X. But when I wanted to go back to this, I wanted to play the original version and see how it played on the 360. And I'm sure the multiplayer was a good time. There are online co-op mode achievements, which is awesome. I really love that there's an online co-op mode. Back when Halo games shipped with co-op, those were the good days. If you are on this edition now, you will probably be playing solo campaign, and I'd say it's a very worthwhile experience for anyone who is slightly adverse to the RTS genre and loves Halo. Heck, there's even 2 free DLCs that are still available that adds new maps and game modes, which are going to add more depth to your Halo Wars experience. Time for the achievement corner. And Halo Wars achievements, they're interesting. As usual, there's ones for beating it on each difficulty, and that's already pretty tough. And there are co-op exclusive achievements just for beating the game. So with that, I did not 100% this, unfortunately. I didn't know anyone that would want to run through this with me with online co-op, and I wanted to start it, but I'm sure that there is someone out there that is looking to boost. So if you want to get the achievements in this game, try to find a boosting partner and they definitely can help you out. And you'll have to do it with all of the Xbox Live achievements, so unfortunately I didn't even attempt those either. I do like that there is achievement variety here though. Each mission has a small goal that it sets you up with, kind of like a weird task that gives you an achievement for it. And I always appreciate when the achievements ask you to play a game in a different way. It's stuff like winning with only one base in a level or blowing up every methane tank in a level. I think that made me enjoy the experience with the achievements a little more. It's just a little unfortunate that I missed out on some of them, but it's nothing that a boosting session can't fix. I think overall, I really enjoyed the achievements here. They're a nice mix of challenge and variety. And overall, I'd say with Halo Wars, it surprised me. I was addicted to the story and got through it faster than I expected. It's a nice streamlined RTS experience, and I can appreciate that. All 15 missions feel the same gameplay wise, but offer a good amount of variety, and I never got tired of it. It emphasizes more of the military side and controlling armies, and doing it with a controller feels tight, and it felt like they really worked hard on it. It's also got really nice Halo lore added into it, and I think overall, it's a really worthy experience. And on my all-new Xbox 360 ranked list, this goes right behind Prey. This was a really tough decision because I think both are really good games, but I think overall Prey was more fun for most of the playtime. And I'm really excited to get started on this one and get above 2 games on this ranked list. If you enjoyed Halo Wars back in the day, or if you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Also, be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. I have a lot more reviews of original Xbox games, new Xbox games, and 360 games. And we'll see you here next time at Camp Xbox.